Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're doing the season prediction of the Miami Heat. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you guys predict the Miami Heat to do this year? I really do believe it is going to be the passing of the baton to Bam Adebayo, and this is going to become Bam Adebayo's team officially. And I think we might see like Tyler Hero grow or get traded. But I think there's still going to be a team that the regular season is where they figure it out, and then when the lights turn on during the playoff time, they're going to show who they are. Now, I get confirmation. I should know this week. It's up in the air, but I may be covering the Heat this year for the USA Today Sports Noob site. So going to every game and locker room access. We'll find out October 1st if I'm heading to media day or not. As you guys know, I live in Miami, but we're outside Miami because I would never live in Miami just because that's not my scene. Plus, I bought a condo and I would not have been able to afford something near the arena. I'm out in Pembroke Pines, baby. Now, let's talk about a team. They're supposed to win 44.5 games, which is 45 games, which if they won 45 games this past season, which the Heat won 46, they were the 8th seed. There we go. Now, what do I think of this squad? I really like what they did. They don't have a point guard, and I don't know why this just reminds me of the time before Goran Dragic was there, and literally when it was between Dwayne Wade's first title and through the Heatles, Pat Riley never really had a true point guard. And that's because all those teams from the Heatles, and I know people are going to list off the point guards that they did have. And yes, they had point guards, and so did the Miami Heat with LeBron James, Garce Cole, Mario Chalmers. And I know Gary Payton was on that older team, and I believe Jason Williams as well. But what I'm getting at is they didn't have Goran Dragic was for them during that run, and even Kyle Lowry was. And we all know Terry Rozier. Obviously, he was a point guard in college, but since being in the NBA, he's been more of a combo guard, except I guess you would say when he was in Boston, he was kind of a backup point guard. But I really dig the idea of them going ahead and wanting to run a Terry Rozier, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler. I would assume they're going to continue with Jovic because they like that three-point shooting and his size at the 4, and then Bam Adebayo as their starting lineup. And then they'll have a combination of Jaime Jaquez and Josh Richardson and Duncan Robinson as their guards and wings. And then also have Bam Adebayo and Kevin Love be also secondary playmakers, if that makes sense. So for me, I just think, damn, they just have so many options. And that's before you even get to us mentioning Khalil Ware, who they just brought in, who I think is going to be great for them. And they also just brought in Naz Little, who I think is just going to be a bottom of the bench guy, behind Haywood Highsmith. So I have faith that this Heat team, I think they're going to be really good defensively, but for me, Bam Adebayo, seeing the three-point shots and took this Olympics run with Eric Spoelstra being on the staff, I think they were trying stuff out, and I would not be surprised, in my opinion, if Bam Adebayo ends up being a guy who averages 25 and 10 this year and is shooting a bunch of threes. Also, I think Jimmy Butler is kind of going to be their point guard at the same time and take more of a facilitating role than a shot creation, and then have Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier, Bam Adebayo, shoulder that load. And then obviously when they need clutchness, they have Jimmy there. But I just think, and also give Jaime Jaquez, room to grow. But for me, the idea that they have Bam Adebayo, Jovic, Butler, Hero, Rozier, Richardson, Robinson, Jaime Jaquez, Kevin Love, and Khalil Ware, I do think it's going to be that team before you even get to Thomas Bryant, Pele Larson, Alec Burks, Naz Little, who round out the end of that bench. Who else is there? I guess they have Keyshawn Johnson, Drew Smith, and Josh Christopher on two ways, which like I believe in them as prospects, but that's just I think this is a deeper team and than the past two seasons maybe, and since it was deeper than the last year's, I still think they're a team that Miami really doesn't do trades, but I would not be surprised if this is another year that we see a Miami trade. Again, if Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson struggle or don't take, like Tyler Hero doesn't take the step that they're hoping that he does and that he's been hinting at, or Duncan Robinson just goes through another one of those inconsistent, like terrible years where it makes you question his contract, I think that's when they're going to be like, look, we don't have time to fuck around, and they just cut bait and they trade their ass for just guaranteed shooting. I think that's what, like, I would not be surprised if they, let's say Duncan Robinson is sucking, they get the opportunity just to trade him for somebody who's having a really good 3-point shooting year and isn't expiring. Would not be surprised if that's something that they do. Just I think they really, like, with Max Strus gone, they never replaced Max Strus. And unless somebody that I don't expect, or Pele Larson, is that ready or that good of a shooter, then I expect Miami to be on the prowl. And Tyler Hero's making 29, Duncan's making 19.4, so I could see Bojan Bogdanovic being the type of guy that they're like, here, just take Duncan, let's just swap, okay? You guys get to rehabilitate Duncan's image, and Duncan's also got a player option, like one more year, so you figure that out, and then he's expiring for the Nets, and you take Bojan, who isn't expiring, or maybe you try to get Dorian Finney-Smith, who has a player option, you attach whatever assets you have left to get him. That's always, a choice. But outside of that, yeah, like who's matching worthy or like around the ballpark that you could go out and get? I mean, I think they could stretch and try to get Cam Johnson. Again, is Cam Johnson going to raise your ceiling? Like at that point, just go get Denny Aptia, do whatever it takes to get like a Denny Aptia, and also ask them for like Duke Reith or something in that deal where you send them Duncan Robinson and whatever assets you have. But besides a deal like that, I mean, I've said it before, but I think the idea of it becomes hard, but I guess in this case, you could look at Duncan Robinson, and going back to the Denny Aptia one, you go ahead and you deal Duncan Robinson with, let's say in this case, who isn't expiring that they probably wouldn't care for, or I know let's say Duncan and Haywood Highsmith for, I think you could squeeze that. If you had to add Thomas Bryant, you would, but Denny Aptia and Matisse Thybulle for Duncan Robinson and Haywood Highsmith and Thomas Bryant. And then you go into free agency and bring in Bismack Biyombo to be your backup or some shit. But I could see deals like something like that work out. Or another one is, we know that the Cavs are going to try to save money, so they're going to trade George Niang. And again, Duncan Robinson is a guy that you could send maybe to like the Utah Jazz or the Pistons, and the Pistons send you, in this case, maybe you send them Duncan Robinson and some second round picks. The Pistons send you, in this scenario, who's somebody that could come in this season and provide on the, I'm like legit trying to think like of the Pistons on the fly right here. I want to say Shake got traded to the Nets. So, because I'm thinking of a 3-team trade where you would send Duncan, so George Niang goes to the Heat, Duncan to the Pistons, and the Pistons send Paul Reed. Well, at this point, Paul Reed to the Heat, and then one of the second round picks that the Heat send goes to the Cavs, and the Cavs also get themselves, maybe in this situation, like Wendell Moore. And so Cavs get a second round pick, Wendell Moore. The Pistons get a second round pick or 2 second round picks and Duncan Robinson and the Heat walk away with George Niang because the Cavs need to avoid the luxury tax. And George Niang is the guy that if they trade him, they'd be under the tax. And then Paul Reed as well. So the Heat walk away churning Duncan Robinson into a power forward and a quality small forward who was a career like dead-eye shooter. And if you don't want Paul Reed, I think the other guys like a Simone Fontecchio who works out perfect, or a Malik Beasley. But I think a deal like that is what we're going to see the Heat do.